a long time. Been a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see here. Yeah, I guess I don't need the glasses right now. Yeah, it's been a long. Yeah, I done brought my other glasses. All right, I'm gonna wait for some people to come into the room. It's been a while since I did a live, and I used to do these things a lot, and I still enjoy doing them. I ain't did a live forever. Let me see here. Make sure yeah, that's connected. So, for some of the people. And things like that, man. Man, I haven't did a live in the world in a while, but I just want to give a couple shots out to some of my true followers, though. Sherry, lady, yeah. Shout out to Sherry. Shout out to John Paddock. John Paddock. Shout out to Dan the Corn Man. We're gonna give another shout out Omega. I haven't heard from Omega forever and things. And we got a few others as well. Let me see here. Keeping it sharp with Billy Sharp. Let me see here. Who else? Oh yeah, we got Jimmy. I'm mod for Jimmy, by the way. The real Jimmy. Yeah, shout out to you, Jimmy, as well. Man, I watched your live earlier today, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead on and do a live myself. And we're going to be talking about Maga is winning, ladies and gentlemen. Maga is winning. It's one of the things about it. While I'm in my ride here, I'm just kind of waiting for some people to come in on the chat, and then we can have a discussion about how Maga is winning, making America great again. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing about it is that when we start with the border and how he's have gotten that together, the border is so secure that I mean, we're talking about how secure the border is. Nobody is getting in. But we notice a lot of people are exiting out of here, starting with the hardest of criminals first. And then after all these criminals have been exiting out of here, because you already know ICE has been rounding them up. But before I go into MAGA and why MAGA is winning and why the Dems liberals are upset and why they're losing, and I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to say this. And some of the MAGA people, conservatives, already know this. The biggest problem with a lot of these liberals, right, that they want to see Trump lose because they don't like Trump. And this is what it's all about. And you got to keep in mind, people that are either prejudiced, they have a hatred towards Trump because he's a white man that's getting this shit done, right? And this is one of the main things. They don't like Trump, right? Had this would have been a black man, woman, or whoever else, you know what I'm saying? But they don't like Trump, right? And I'm talking about some of these liberals, right? Some of these old fake MAGA, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of them out there too. So talking about it, ladies and gentlemen, they just don't like him. And they want to use whatever he's doing, they see fault in it. And when you are, let's say, prejudiced towards somebody, and you would figure black folks would know about somebody being prejudiced against them or vice versa. Any other ethnic group should you think they would know about this stuff? I know no one out here likes to be, let's say, experience prejudice, right? We don't like it when somebody is being prejudiced towards us. We're talking about prejudging, right? And that's what they're basically doing because he is a white man in power that automatically makes Donald Trump a racist or somebody that's, racist in this particular case. They see him, the minority small group of people, which is about this much. This is not something to be concerned with, ladies and gentlemen, because we already know that a lot of these liberals and the Democratic elites they are falling. You know what I'm saying? Their system is going down. As I mentioned before, they do not have no type of leadership. They're pretty much kicking AOC out of their Democratic Party, as well as Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett. Because look at it. They were the ones that were responsible as well on this communist type stuff, this socialist movement stuff that's not working for the Democratic Party. Let's just be real. So I felt the need to want to bring that up. So you can never win debating these people because we already know these butt hurt ass liberals, they are debating with their feelings. This is all they're doing. They debate with their feelings. They don't debate for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They debate with like a woman, right? It's all about their feelings. Grown ass men, and I know some that are liberal, a lot of them, especially in this so called black community, as I mentioned before, because we already know that a lot of these weak men that are liberals, they are being led by who? The black woman, right? That are liberals. Now, there's ones that have come around by looking at this shit with Trump, seeing what he has been up against. This is a guy that they put Russia on, right? The Russia thing, right? Which was a hoax. And they are coming out with it now, how this was already crafted up by Obama. There is documented evidence that Tulsi Gabbard has been revealing, right, to Congress as well as to the people, to the American people. The American people deserve the truth, how this whole Russia thing was put together. And it was a false allegation. It was conspiracy, I should say. And they pushed it on to Trump along with the elections being tampered with. We're talking about Spygate, right? Spying on Trump's campaign and things like that. All the stuff have came from the left camp under Obama. You know, that's why we say all roads lead to Obama, right? So this is what has been going on. This is what has been happening, ladies and gentlemen. So as we go down the list here, so we talk about Russia, right? What else have been going on, right? Well, you talk about how the election had been stolen, right, from Trump, right, back in 2020. They tried to do it in 2016 after Hillary got beat, because Hillary Clinton never thought that she was going to lose. It was a sure thing. She thought it was going to be in the bag, right? Trump came through with flying colors, right? Because what made Trump very popular with the people, because Trump identified with the people. He said America first with the people, right? He already said what he was going to do. Trump have said it. He said he was going to make sure that no more immigrants are coming over, illegal immigrants coming into this country, these illegal aliens that are over here. That would have never happened under true leadership like Trump. We already know that, right? So he said he was going to stop the border. He said that there was going to be a mass exodus. You know, a promise made is a promise kept. This is what the things that what Trump was saying they was doing. He ran on this platform, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he ran on. He ran on this campaign, is what I'm trying to say. So Trump had made these campaign promises of what he was going to do exactly once he became president back in 2016. And he would have been in there again if it wasn't for the administration and all these other people that was in that inner circle that have stole that election from Trump. They put a resident in versus a president. You know, there was no way that Biden should have won back in 2020. They even put if you were to say that the election was taken from him, they would have put you in the box. They would have put pressure. This is the type of stuff they would attack on free speech, right? Freedom of speech, right? All this stuff happened in 2020, right? And then you also had what is it? The hush money files, right? They concocted all this stuff. You know, you had Fonnie Willis, Letitia James on his ass, right? You had these people that are trying to lock him up. Then, what was it? We talk about, there's a lot of other things. Then it was January 6th, right? Then that phony J6 that they planned and things like that as well. So there's a lot of things right there that Trump had to overcome. Survived 2 assassination attempts. They were trying to get him, right? Broke in this house, Mar-a-Lago. That's another thing, right? Because we have reason to believe that these agents, right? These federal agents that a um, broke into Mar-a-Lago, president at the time, you know, when we're talking about broken into Mar-a-Lago. So they broke in there, and they were probably looking for some evidence that can incriminate them for for them coming up with the Russia thing. And that's my opinion, I think, of what has happened. But at any event, there's people that got cell phones taken from them that are politicians. There was an attack, once again, on their political adversaries, right? Something like this had never been seen before, right? This is crazy, but this is what ended up happening, right? And then we talk about the other thing. Trump have went through a lot. His character being assassinated. They said 34 counts of indictment. They were really trying to get Trump. But you notice Trump weathered through the fire, right? Because Letitia James, Bonnie Willis thought they had something. Now they are under scrutiny and criminal charges and all this other type of stuff. Everybody thought that Trump was going to get locked up. He's been impeached at least about 3 times, if not twice, right? So they thought they had something here. If they had something, then why isn't Trump locked up? All y'all can say is, oh, an ex-felon, an ex-convict, you know? And the new thing that a lot of y'all are talking about is the Epstein thing. Like, this is going to hurt Trump. The letter, right? Talk about that letter that they said that Trump wrote. The one, and I got a copy of the letter. I read it. But anyway, I said, no, I mean, it's not even, they even ran it through AI. AI even said that that Trump did not write that letter. But that letter that they say that, and I think, what is it, the Washington Post? They wrote that letter, created that letter under the Washington Post. And then we also have Rupert Murdoch. Don't leave him out. They wrote that thing. They concocted that thing together, ladies and gentlemen. They put that thing together, though, man. It's the craziest thing. I was laughing reading the letter. I got a copy of it. They got it over here on X. They drew a picture of a woman's body on here. And it had like this intimate moment on who was it, Epstein's birthday. Yeah, you know what I mean, and all this other kind of nonsense. It's just the craziest thing ever, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm just laughing, because I went now, for those that are just coming in right now, popping in curious. I already did a summary already of the things that how Trump was accused from Russia, all the way up to the Epstein thing, how he survived assassination, the hush money trials, the J6 stuff. Man, they was really trying to get Trump. And if any of these things were true, they would have been got Trump. Many of y'all think that Trump was on the island. Trump was not on the Epstein Island. Because if it was, right, they could have used that in the beginning. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, well, this is the big talk. Why won't they show the list? Here's the thing about it. They created a list, which is a phony list on there, right? And they added Trump on there. I saw the phony list. There's people that was on that list, and then there was Trump that they added on the list. They were hoping, I'm talking about from the left, the Democrats, for you guys that are liberals, here's the reason. They were trying to create a trap for Trump. And they were hoping that Pam Bondi was going to release that phony list. And well, that's what's a trap, because if she would have released that list, oh, Donald Trump name on the list, that indicating or implicating that he was on the island, which he was not. So this was the reason that once again, Trump is 5D chess, ladies and gentlemen. He's like 10 steps ahead of the Democrats. That's why they can never catch him. They didn't look at it. We went from Russia for you coming in. I talked about Russia already. From Russia, from that point, right, all the way up to what we're dealing with right now, right? We talked about the thing with Fonnie Willis and all that hush money thing, J6, assassination attempts, all the stuff they were trying to get Trump on. You notice none of it. 34 counts. Oh, he's a felon. If that would be the case, the felon should have been locked up. But they didn't have no evidence. Fonnie Willis, right? And Letitia, Big Mama Letitia James, they're in trouble. Seeing the stuff that Letitia James were doing, she's in trouble, right? Legal stuff. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. MAGA is winning, true MAGA, not fake MAGA, MAGA is winning. Make America great again. Normally, I would have wore my hat, but I forgot to bring my MAGA cap, But yeah, so this is the thing, right? So earlier, I talked about all this stuff, right? And then we talked about Russia, Spygate, Pizzagate, all this stuff, right? All the stuff that we're talking about right now. And they haven't been able to convict Trump and put him in prison because, once again, they did not have anything, ladies and gentlemen. They don't have anything. If they did with Epstein, right? Because, again, they didn't release it. They go, oh, yeah, he won't release the files. He didn't release those particular files because that list is phony. Because you got to keep in mind, before who Comey and them, talking about from the people that had access to the Epstein files, they went in there, made some alterations, took some people off the list, added some people on there like Trump, and then they were hoping that Pam Bondi was going to release the phony files. The phony files are the ones that he said is fake, is phony, right? The real files are the ones that they are going to release. Not the phony ones, but the real ones that can implicate a lot of people that was involved that was on that island. That's all I'm saying, right? So we have to look at things a lot more carefully. The Dems are getting very, very worried right now, right? I mean, panic mode like never before because the narratives, they don't have the leverage. Trump is holding all the leverage. The Dems are not, right? The Dems are washed up, as I mentioned earlier, because they don't have no leadership. They don't actually have anybody. Who is that guy? Zohan or whatever. Yeah, he's charismatic. The communists that's talking about saving New York want to change New York into a communist state. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Trump even said that he's going to be the one that's going to save New York from this guy. But outside of that, Gavin Newsom, all the rest of them is washed up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and also, what else I'm going to say? Hold on for a minute. Because I promise. So, Flawless Nina. Okay. I ran across her channel. Flawless Nina, I ran across your channel earlier today. One thing that one thing that stood out, I should say, stood out. Flawless Nina was trying to educate me that they still have sundown towns in the United States, right? She mentioned Jasper, Texas, right? She goes on. She couldn't really give me any specifics other than I think with Jasper, Texas, was that situation where the black guy got drugged to death, and there's some other things around it. But she was trying to make a point about a sundown town across the United States. Now, for you guys that are Zennials and Millennials, you probably don't know what a sundown town is. Generation Xers, we know what a sundown town is. Sundown towns are, I'm not saying they didn't have them. I'm saying today we don't have them. But if you go back in the 50s, 40s, 30s on back, they had sundown towns, right? I want to say from the 50s down to the 30s or down to the turn of the century. Sundown towns are cities across the United States where blacks can go. And, they can work there, but they had to leave out of town before the sun got down. You know what I'm saying? That's why they were called sundown towns, right? She's now was it Flawless Nina? That's her name. She's a she's a content creator on YouTube. And definitely have way more followers than I do, which is all right. It's okay. But she was trying to educate me on that we trying to say that we still have sundown towns. So I just simply asked, could you elaborate and go into a lot more detail about where these sundown towns are? She told me there's a thing called Google and you have to research them for yourself. But if I got to research it for myself, you're telling me that there are sundown towns, and which will mean or indicate that they still exist. So shouldn't you already know and have your facts and have your statistics about these sundown towns? Instead of just saying that they're sundown towns, she didn't have any fact at all. So anybody know Flawless Nina? Because that's who she's a content creator, have more followers than me. But her topic today, and I ran across her by accident, how she was talking about they got sundown towns in the United States. And for those that don't know what a sundown town is, as I said earlier, these were places where blacks could either pass through or work there. You couldn't be there before the sun go down. That's why they call them sundown towns. She mentioned about the Green Book, like from the movie, the Green Book, where blacks had the right instructions. If you were passing through the United States, there were areas where black folks could not go. I'm not saying that that didn't happen. She was trying to say, modern 2025, that sundown towns still exist. I'm saying that they don't exist today. You are free to travel anywhere. I traveled across the United States. I didn't see no sundown towns. Wasn't told that I had to leave out of town. I rode to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I done rode through a lot of these cities and things like that. But let me ask you this, Flawless Nina. Have you drove across country, let alone by yourself? Have you gone through these cities? Have you been on the interstates, the number 10, the number 40s, Route 66, US 20? Have you rode on any of these highways? Have you been there? Let me ask you this, right? Have you been to any of these places you're claiming? Yeah, I rode through Texas. I never rode through Jasper, but it makes me want to go through Jasper, Texas now. Because you're saying that these are sundown towns, right? Yeah, she threw out, I'm quite certain it was Jasper, Texas. So, like I said before,
Here's my signal that went. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, these the first generation AirPods, they ain't worth a damn.
it ain't worth a damn. Let's talk time. So yeah, so going addressing to Flawless Nina. Your I was gonna say your logic or your information on this type of stuff for modern day is flawed. It's flawed because it's got all type of flaws in here. But you can't even give me cities and pinpoint places where these sundown towns are in modern day 2025. I'm not talking back then. I'm talking about right now. And for a person that's putting this false propaganda out here, you would have to have your facts. Don't tell me that to go and Google it. You should have your information already. Flawless Nina. Yeah, she's a content creator. And if it sounds like I'm coming after her, I'm not coming after her, but I want her to understand what she's talking about. You know, I want her to understand what she's talking about. Sundown towns. Yeah, that's what she said that still exists. So yeah, I just wanted to make a side note on that. It's not nothing that I really want to hold a whole lot of put a whole lot of spotlight or a highlight on because it's not really worth it. But other than that, yeah. So we're talking about MAGA and how MAGA is winning, ladies and gentlemen. And I know it's been a while since I did a live and things like that, but yeah, I said, it's been a lot that's been going on. How MAGA is winning right now. We have destroyed woke. We have gotten a lot of illegals out of this country, right? I'm talking about the criminals first, right? We have the border is very, very secure now. We got ICE agents out here. We got the DOJ that's doing their job for the first time ever. We got the FBI, the CIA, all these organizations, right, are doing their thing, right? They are making the world, or I should say, making America safe again. You know what I'm saying? So they really are. They really are doing their thing. They're doing the investigative. I love the fact of seeing these FBI agents out here working. They're out here doing their thing, though. Omega, man. Man, what's going on with you, Omega, man? I said, I know somebody got to be rolling and rocking with me, man. Yo, Omega, man, it's a beautiful time, man. I've been away for a while, Omega, man. Talk about you. Man, I've been out here still doing my thing. A lot has happened, man. A lot has happened, Omega, man. But it's good to see you on the live, man. You, Sherry pops in sometimes. Man, I ain't mean to be no stranger, man. But it's so much news that have been coming around, man. I've been caught up with that and personal things in my life, you know. But yeah, man, it's good to see you, man. I'm still out here rocking and rolling as well, you know, rocking and rolling. But yeah, man, I don't know. I've been over here talking earlier how once again MAGA is winning. They really are. Because now that the FBI agents, and you already know about it, the DOJ, right? The CIA, everybody is doing their job now, man. They're out here making Americans safe again, man. Going out here doing real work instead of spying on Americans, trying to shake people down, arresting citizens and saving criminals. Yeah, man, those days are gone. And also with the deep state, man, Trump and the Patriots have been taking it to their ass. They've been weakening them, weakening them, weakening them, Omega. They've been getting more, they've been more weakened as the time goes on. The central bank in trouble, man. Look at Jerome Powell, man. Jerome Too Late Powell, man. He's under scrutiny like never before. I said it. Remember, I called it out earlier with the Federal Reserve Bank. Nobody knows the inner workings, what goes on inside. But now people have been red pilled in this country. And not only that they have been red pilled, but people are looking at Jerome Powell, Too Late Powell, and the Federal Reserve, right? They're looking at this thing, man. So, yeah. So, not much longer are we going to have a Federal Reserve Bank because the coffers are steadily being filled up from the tariffs that have been coming in. The last I checked, it was like $121 million on the coffers of these countries that are paying their tariffs. They're paying their taxes, or I should say, tariff tax, in order to sell goods and services over here in America. It's a beautiful thing. The first time that making America great, MAGA, and making what Trump said it. Remember, he said it. I'm going to put America first. The first time we ever had a president that was going to put America first, right? And Trump is really doing it. He's a true patriot, a true president that is not part of the deep state establishment. This is one of the main reasons, as we already know, people like Rupert Murdoch, and we already know George Soros, people that Bill Gates, right? Um, what's his other? Mark Zuckerberg. A lot of these guys hate Trump. They can't stand him, right? Because he's not a part of their world, right? And the list goes on and on and on, you know. Trump have already proven to us time after time after time where he said, I'm going to put America first. I'm going to take the power away from them and give it back to the American people. A promise made is a promise kept. That's a beautiful thing, man. And we've been winning. We have been winning. So, yeah, so I can't complain at all. Now they think that this Epstein thing, and I noticed with the left, Omega, they think that this thing with the list, oh yeah, why didn't he want to release it? Because the reason that he doesn't want to release it because the list is phony. That's a phony list. And they put his name on it too. That phony letter, that was a phony letter. Trump didn't write that letter. And Trump has never been on the list, you know? So that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? So this is basically what it is. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen, you know? So if that list had any type of, it was really designed as a trap because they were hoping that Pam Bondi was going to release it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? He was hoping that they was going to release that list, and that was going to hurt Trump because it would have made them look like a fool. But Trump is already ahead of him, as always. He's 10 steps ahead. Trump is playing 5D chess, while these other losers, they're still playing checkers, man. And this is why Trump has been winning. Trump has been kicking their ass on every policy. You know, they thought the ninth district courts were going to stop him. Found out that that was unconstitutional, and they can't overstep their boundaries, telling the city executive order chief, commander in chief, what to do. It's the craziest thing ever. But yeah, Omega, the power of the deep state is steady falling, man. It's steady falling down, and we are winning, man. We are finally getting our country back. The things are looking great. Have you noticed that with the food, man? I've been talking to people about this, and maybe you may be aware, man. But I've been um I've been looking at this thing like a breaking news. Trump just declared an emergency. I'm gonna have to read that, man. Hold on for a minute. Hold on, I'm gonna read that later. But yeah, and things. But other than that, yeah, man, this administration is not playing around. But going back to the local stores, the glass soda pops, they got the real cane sugar in them. Man, I had a Sprite before recently. I had what is it? They got the Crush. They got the Fantas that has real cane sugar in there. So RFK Jr. has really been doing his thing and stuff too. So I've been noticing things like that. They got a lot of the dangerous dyes out of the food products. There's things that are changing around with this Trump administration, led by Maga. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, our borders are safer than it ever has been before. The executive orders that Trump have written about the birthright citizenship, right? So, black folks, we don't have anything to worry about under birthright citizenship. The borders are secure now, right? We actually got real cane sugar back in the soda pops. Coca Cola and Pepsi even agreed that they were going to start mass manufacturing soda pop with real cane sugar. That's another one. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. So that's another one, though, too. So we are winning on the health as well as the safety in this country. So a little phony Jeffrey Epstein list is not going to hurt Trump because, like I said before, the reason that the list wasn't Trump wasn't going to release it because that list is phony. That's a phony list, and Trump was smart enough not to walk into that trap. So that's for anybody that think they got like a gotcha moment, of which they don't. You know what I'm saying? What's another one that's bothering some of these black liberals? They over here talking about this Project Esther. You guys heard of it? A friend of mine that's a liberal, he brought it up to me that it's a continuation of Project 2025. So I just briefly looked at it, but I said, you know, ain't no sense of reading that garbage and trash because here it is again. These are tactics coming from the left that they think that they're going to try to discredit Trump, stop Trump, or I got you moment Trump. And like I said, the Esther thing, I think it's called Project Esther, Project 2025. You know what I'm saying? So they want to say that this stuff is racist. Look at it what it is, right? They're bringing all this stuff. Never been able to get them. 34 indictments. What else? Oh yeah, Russia. You know, the hush money thing with Fonnie Willis, Letitia James. They had all. Trump overcame. Look at assassination attempt twice. Trump overcame all these things, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So there got to be a creator, right? Got to be a God for him to be able to withstand an attack on his character. Broke it into his house, went through their things looking for those files. They were looking for the incriminating evidence, right? That I believe that they were looking for that could implicate Obama in them, right? For this coup that they tried to put together, right? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So remember, y'all watched the AI generated with Trump and Biden. I mean, I'm sorry, Trump and Obama, and how they had the secret service. The people came in to arrest Obama. Trump put that out. He purposely put that out. So that's an indication of what is to come, right? So when we think about this, right? So because we talk about this Russia thing. Spygate, right? You got Pizzagate, right? You got all these conspiracies. We talking about J6, right? We talk about the overthrow of this government, right, under Trump, because that's what it was. It was a coup. How our elections was hacked and taken from back in 2020. They tried to do it in 2016. In fact, that's where the coup started, right? So all this going on, ladies and gentlemen, all this going on. I'm just here to let you know that this is not just getting somebody on one thing. It goes way beyond Epstein. Yeah, Epstein is involved in there. You know, the Diddy stuff is involved in there too. But as I was mentioning, you guys are seeing a whole movie that's seamlessly being put together. And this is why this is going to be the biggest uh, indictment, conspiracy, criminal treason to America. This is going to be the biggest thing in history that we are witnessing right now, right? And this is why Topsy has been showing you guys and giving evidence in regards to Obama and his coup, right? You know, so we're talking about these other people that are involved in this coup, right? So these are the people, right? So yeah, this is big, ladies and gentlemen. This is big, and this is why we're gonna see a total control of MAGA when it come down to the Senate. But we're talking no, we're talking about the Senate. We're talking about the House and everything. The whole enchilada. There's going to be a lot of arrests and a lot of indictments. It could happen before the what we call before the primaries, or it could be after. But somewhere around that time, because they got a lot of evidence, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't forgot about Pizzagate, did you? Right? All this stuff is coming out right now, right? And these elites do not like Trump. They hate him, right? Because he has criminating evidence on the people and many other people, right? He knows who been on that island for real, right? There's people, he already dropped some names recently. He even dropped Bill Clinton recently, right? We know who been on the islands, right? We know, they know judgment is coming. They can't stop it. They tried to spin the narratives, CNN, DNC, and all the rest of them. They tried to spin the narratives, but they could not do it. If you notice, their power is steady diminishing, ladies and gentlemen. They don't have the narrative anymore. Even the fake news media can't spin it fast enough. There's so many things that they're being hit with that they're trying to fight off and trying to spin the narrative. You notice out that Obama group, they can't spin the narrative. You know what I'm saying? They can't spin the narrative. All these people that was involved on that coup, they're in trouble. The auto pen under Biden people. Everybody is in trouble. Don't leave that out, right? Don't leave out how the 2020 election was stolen for Trump. Don't leave that out, right? We gotta look at this. Don't leave out the J6 and stuff that they put together, right? Because Trump was still the acting president, not Joe Biden. Joe Biden was the resident. Trump was the president, right? This is what people got to see and understand how our elections were taken, how this guy Obama is not an American citizen. He was born in Kenya. That birth certificate is phony. Stand on it because you even had Mayor Joel Paya out in Arizona. I've been watching their stuff on how they had special people that could look and see the integrity of a birth certificate. And he was not born in 62. He was born in 1958. Oh, Hawaii did not become a state until 1959, right? That's exactly what it is. Omega says the reason they are losing the narrative is because people are realizing that the last few narratives were bunk. Yep. Especially those Sleepy Joe time in office. Exactly. They have lost the narrative, man, Omega. I would say not losing, lost, because it's a small minority of group that just hate Trump. They just look at him as a fascist dictator. That would never change. But stupid is what stupid does. But yeah, Omega, you make a great point about that, and it backs up what I've been saying with this whole thing, though, man. You know what I'm saying? It backs it up. And I'm sorry to be gone so long, but there's a lot that have been dropping. I know you guys get the news. I'm not really a news channel. I just kind of talk about things that I feel that is relevant for the American people to know. Because this ain't about convincing Democrats. I'm talking about these soy boy, zesty boy type people. Because we done already won against woke. Woke is been done. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about that type of stuff anymore. We already know Trump signed executive orders taking away the educational Department of Education, back over to what? He took it back over from the government and gave it back to the hands of the state level. Omega says, well, they still have some die in the war. Yep, true. Believers. I know a few, and they are insufferable. Yeah, so still dies in the war. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying, though. It's going to take time, though, Omega. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, though, for some things, though. But we are seeing slow changes, though, man. As far as with this wicked regime that we've been under. And this explains a lot why the Federal Reserve, how the U.S. dollar has been shrinking, because they were the ones that created it. They were the ones that robbed the American people of its wealth, and they've been running it, and they control our politicians. They control a lot of our CEOs of our because we know that they got something on them. So if it wasn't going to be Jeffrey Epstein, it's going to be somebody else. They all invite them all to the party. It's like you got to go. It's like a prerequisite. You can't stay as a CEO in these positions for long if you don't go to these parties. If you're gonna be somebody, you got to go. That way they get dirt on you. And we already know this is how politicians, judges, any mayors, anybody in the political, anybody in the legal system and so forth, and as well as businessmen, this is how they're being controlled. So a lot of them were being controlled though. They had dirt on them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Going to Epstein Island, they knew what they were doing. Hollywood, they knew what they were doing. They all knew what they were doing. Going in, if you had some little boy fetish, a little girl fetish, you go to Epstein Island to get that taken care of. They got it all recorded, doing the same thing that Diddy did. This is how Diddy was able to keep people controlled. He had stuff on LeBron, he had stuff on everybody. Judge Mathis, he had stuff on everybody, right? This is public knowledge, right? But Diddy is no different than Epstein, but on a smaller scale. If you were in the music industry, right? You in any of that kind of stuff, whether it's music, entertainment, or whatever like that, you was going to Diddy party. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's anybody went to Diddy parties, right? Anybody that's anybody went to Epstein. That's just how it goes, you know? That's exactly how it goes. So yeah, so that's what's been going on, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly what has been going on. And we're seeing it now. We are seeing it for what it really is. And once again, this is why MAGA is winning. All of the obstacles that Trump overcame. I talked about that earlier, from Russia, all the way up to modern day right now. Ninth Court District judges try to block him, right? With all these injunctions that he overcame and did. So yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. Now we are in a better situation. The food supply, Trump has signed an executive, or actually they have seized the Chinese owned lands over by those military bases. Trump has seized a lot of the land from these Chinese from the farmers. We got those farmlands back, ladies and gentlemen. The farmers right now. I wish I wish John was in the room right now. He's a farmer, chariot farmers. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna boom, man. You know. So farmers right now, you got your livelihood back. We don't have to worry about a lot of food because we're gonna be to the time where Mexican produce we don't even need it. We should have been taking care of our own anyway. America feeding Americans, man, the way it's supposed to be. That's a beautiful thing, though, man. You know what I'm saying? We are winning the war against tyranny, fascism, and so forth. They do not have the narrative no more, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at a better, it is only getting better and better, getting better and better. So who cares about, do you know the Epstein stuff don't bother me? Because I know Trump wasn't on that island. Anyway, Trump already explained all that. I ain't got to go into that. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Nobody worried about Epstein. Oh, he was on the island. That's why he didn't want to talk about it. I ain't got to worry about that garbage. Omega says the reason they hate Trump is because the career politicians don't have any dirt on him. Exactly what I said earlier. And to hold over his head. That's correct. That is what Newt Gingrich was talking about, right, back in 2016. That is correct. That's why we always, and Megan, you are absolutely correct. That's why we were saying Trump is anti establishment. He always has been. Trump is already a billionaire, multi billionaire off of real estate development. He's a real estate developer. He don't need George Soros money or any of these other elites money. He don't need them. And this is why people like Rupert Murdoch hate Trump, the one that owns Fox News, right? This is why MSNBC, DNC, and all them, they hate Trump because they can't. He's a man that cannot be controlled. Megan says if he were into the Epstein stuff, the demo KKK rats would have already published it. It's correct. What I said, it's only common knowledge what Omega is really saying. You think the Democrats are going to wait? They would have used it back in 2016, right when he was running for president, because we know this is how you get people off the ticket. Y'all remember Matt Gaetz? Remember Matt Gaetz? We know Matt Gaetz was threatened. They found something on Matt Gaetz. He declined, right? That's what they do, right? Remember Matt before Pete Hegseth? We talking about Matt Gaetz. Remember? Matt Gaetz decided to bow and step down, right? That's exactly what they do. And many other politicians. This is how presidents are controlled, right? Same type of stuff. Every president that we can think of, right, has been controlled by the deep state, right? When the Kennedys deviate, we knew what happened. We knew that Nixon was set up. Watergate was created, and him and his people weren't smart enough to see the setup. That's why he got up out of there, right? Because he was set up, prostituted out. He was set up. You know what I'm saying? So Trump, he's way ahead. 5D chess, 10 moves ahead and counting. The demo KKK rats, they can't even keep up. They don't know what Trump is going to do next. Trump don't televise what he's going to do. There's a quiet war going on underneath our feet. It just looked like things. It looked like he's aloof. He's well aware of what's going on and things like that. So yeah. So other than that, though, this is why MAGA is winning on every level. Trump been winning so much, right? He's winning on a lot of stuff. We already know, Mega, they don't have anything to stand on, man. Only thing they keep saying is Jeffrey Epstein, release the files, release the list, release the list. Trump already have the real list. It's going to be released in due time, but it's not going to be released by itself. It's like I said before, from Russia, proving that was made up by Obama and all the rest of them. All of it's being tied together. It ain't just for one thing, but people don't realize there's a whole slew of things at the same time. And this is why the deep state is losing, because they can't fight all these, what they would think is an allegation, but they can't fight the criminated evidence that's against them. People slept on Pizzagate. There it is, right? All of it ties together, right? All this traffic So yeah, so this is what I'm saying though, we're gonna see some things, and Trump is already exonerated from this type of stuff because if they really would have had anything, like Omega said, they would have used it then, you know. Because isn't Letitia, Big Mama Letitia James? Don't she got something to worry about with those false well, not allegations, but she got some things, criminating things that's allegedly that she's up against. I got to keep saying allegedly into it. Actually, she's already going to trial for this stuff, so she's going to be behind bars for a long time, and things like that. Trump got to get his people certified. That's why he went into recess, because we know that the Dems are screwing around. They don't want 130 some odd people that Trump appointed, you know what I'm saying, regards to, because he got to get his people certified. We need more MAGA in there. Hopefully, Clarence Thomas is retire. We need to get somebody younger in the Supreme Court where we can have some running room, ladies and gentlemen. No disrespect to Clarence Thomas, but he's been around since George Bush Sr. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, George Bush Sr. So it's time for him to retire, and we got to get somebody in there that's that's younger. I ain't gonna get because Clarence Thomas is competent, but got to get somebody in there. He can't be in there forever. So that's what it is, though. We got to replace the what is it? The Clinton judges. We got to get them out of there, or I should say, Joe Biden people. Ketanji Jackson. We got to get these people out of here. We don't need no DEI hires. We got to get them out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Ketanji Jackson got to go. What's the other one? Sotomayor got to go. We got to get these people out of here, out of Supreme Court. We should, with enough evidence that's about to be exposed, we should be able to run the Supreme Court as well as the House and Senate. The way that this criminated evidence, and this is how we're gonna get a lot of them out of there, because they're gonna. Right now, I have heard from the grapevine that the people that are behind this coup that was created with the Obama thing, that they have also revoked their passports, because we know that elites have a tendency of trying to escape, trying to hide in other countries, like you already have seen other people when Diddy went down. They jetted up out of the country like your Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell and all the rest of them, right? The ones that got out of here to escape judgment, right? But no matter where they go, they're going to still come to the light of the strong, long arm of justice, you know? Well, I love saying that, Omega. Yeah, man. Woo, man. It's a lot, though. Y'all didn't think I was going to stay absent forever, man. I had to talk about some things of what's been going down. Once again, I am not necessarily a news channel, but I will talk about stuff that's already been talked about, and some things that some people may not have talked about or may have missed that I'll bring up, especially with this Epstein thing. Because why is the Democrats pushing for the list so damn bad? Oh yeah, release the list. Oh yeah, you think that Trump gonna trust their evidence? They already looking at the phony evidence. That's why he's saying the list is bogus. Why did Trump say the list is bogus? The list is bogus because they have doctored it up. They have added some people, removed some people, and Trump was one of them that they put on the list. It was a hit piece designed to discredit MAGA and Trump, hoping that he was going to be stupid enough to print that phony list. And then they would come back with an allegation and a lawsuit. But Trump was too smart for him, see? He got the real list. Nobody going to report the phony list. That's why they're so, you know, they don't have anything. If they had something, then, they don't have anything. We know what people really have and what they don't have, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, feels good not to be coughing all the time, Omega. I've been knocked that out of the way a long time ago. Yep. But yeah, I got that ivermectin, man. Woo, man, I got that ivermectin, man, Hold on for one moment. Hold on for one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on for one moment. Hold on. Hold on for a minute, Omega. All right. Yeah, that was a friend of mine I was talking to real quick. All right. Told him I'm live right now, you know. Yep. So other than that though, so yeah, man. Obviously what you said, Omega, they are trying to obstruct the Obama files. Yeah, they actually are. Yeah, that's the thing about it. But it's got to be released because, once again, under the Constitution, that's why it's going to be released to the people. Obama and them, what's his name? Tapper, James Tapper, James Comey, Rice, and all the rest of them. If they didn't have anything on these people that was part of this coup against Trump, because they were that's why the Russia thing, overthrowing Trump after 2016, if they really didn't have anything, if they really had something or whatever, but we know it was put together. It was all phony. They put together that whole coup. And like I said, some people won't say, now I had to correct Jimmy, man, because I was on Jimmy's live earlier. Jimmy says that Obama, we won't see Obama go to jail because Obama has immunity. And I said this, Obama has immunity, but he only has immunity for doing presidential stuff. When you have a coup and when you put together a secret meeting and have a coup against a standing president, you are not, that having immunity does not make you exempt because treason does not exempt you from immunity. And I just want to let people know that. So look it up because you could have, let's say, immunity. Let's just say if Obama, which Iraq people get killed and all that, these are policies that under the presidency, he has immunity. Anything that's presidential, he has immunity to, but not against a coup, you know? And Tulsi Gabbard already released the evidence. She's slowly releasing the evidence. There's more and more and more, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't it. She's been talking to, Congress, giving Congress giving them the evidence of what she already that she has. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't made up. This is some real stuff. This is serious. We're talking treason, and I don't think it's going to have to go to a military court because, again, this is why it's important for Trump to have his people certified and judges as well. We need to have the MAGA judges in there, so therefore they can carry out what the evidence. The reason why we ain't seeing no arrests right now, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, this is for the big enchilada. This ain't just for the little stuff. This ain't a one thing at a time. This is for the whole tea in China. Plus, like I said before, he has to have the people. We're talking about the judges. We got to have judges that he can rely on to carry out. Just like he got some of his AGs in there. These people got to be certified, man, and they're holding them up. That's why Trump went to recess in the first time. Thank you for the like, appreciate it. This is why, once again, this stuff has to happen, ladies and gentlemen, because if it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? That's why we need the people. Trump is way ahead of schedule, right, for the primaries that's coming up. And I'm sure that you guys are going to be down there. You've seen what has been going on in this country. You've seen how the Dems want the illegal criminals in this country, how they've been protecting them, how we have had some of you guys like in Maryland that live in Maryland. You have had your senators flying over there to El Salvador trying to rescue a man that's not even in our country. He's not even an American citizen. Don't think that, don't, we already know what it is, right? And there's many other stuff, right? So We talk about the alligator Alcatraz, right? We talk about Alcatraz, The Rock. You know what I'm saying? These things where they're gonna put these illegal criminals on these islands and stuff to make sure that they don't ever see the light of day. Accountability and justice is on its way, right? The American border is secure like never before. Trump sent military people, the 10th Mountain Division, right? Sent over there. He sent some other special rangers, special people in our elite forces in our military to back those people up over there on the border patrol, right? Now that that's secure, Trump had set up strategic strikes over there in Mexico, taking out a lot of cartel and things like that. Trump has really been doing the damn thing, though, you know. And just for somebody to sit up in here and say that he's not, because again, this ain't nothing. We already won the war against the liberals. Liberals don't have nothing to stand on, man. That's why they got to go into their crybaby baby mode, you know, because we already know that they speak from feelings, not with facts, not with real logic. That's not what real men speak with facts and logic on real stuff, men and women, right? Not this other made up emotional type stuff, right? So, yeah, man, so we are looking really, really great. Promise made is a promise kept. And Trump been making, I mean, I've been going down his political, what he ran on 2016, 2024. It's a beautiful thing. He's really been getting this country together. We've really been cleaning up our act with the dangerous dyes and all the stuff that's been hurting us. What about the immunization? We're talking about the vaccines, right? What did RFK Jr. said? The vaccines that he found mercury and another poison that was in them. This is what people were getting sick and dying from. You know, all this stuff, man. So he came out publicly and mentioned this and how this had a link to autism and stuff, man. So it's a beautiful thing, man. We are totally in a different space right now, you know? So we can rest easy now. If there is any type of, there was a terrorist attack recently. They shut that down. They ended up killing that guy, man. They took care of that real quick. They took care of that real quick, though. So they're on it. So whoever this person is or whatever, the one out there in what city was that in Omega? I'm trying to think here. Hold on for a minute. What was that? But it was somewhere though, right? Yeah, it was somewhere. But yeah, man. So all this stuff has been going on right now, man. We're seeing the difference, right? We're seeing the difference and cracking down, locating these sleeper cells where they are, you know, finding these children, these missing children. They've been finding them and everything like that. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, though. They've had these children return back to the hands of their parents and stuff like that. They're waging the war on trafficking, human trafficking, and stuff like that. You know, and the other word, you know, when we talk about minors and trafficking, you know, so it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So um, yeah, man. Like I said before, man. And Omega, I have been seeing a lot more people. I've seen the sisters channels. There's one called Pop and Politics. They've really been doing their thing too with Pop and Politics, though. These sisters that are conservative, and they've been talking about all the wonderful things that Trump has been doing to make our country safer and everything like that. And they talk about local news as well, of what's been going on, you know. So, yeah, so we're seeing that. We're starting to see somebody put together what is called Black Fatigue, which is blacks calling out the fuckery and demanding more accountability and responsibility when it come down to black on black. So we're starting to see pushback on that now, which is I'm happy. First time ever. I'm very, very happy and glad that we're starting to see pushback on this type of stuff as well, though, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm very, very happy of that, though. So yeah, we are doing very, very well with that as well. So yeah, so with the pushback on that, yep. So yeah, man. So what else? But yeah, That's the biggest news is the Obama thing. Trying to spin that, as you already know, Omega, is going to be very difficult because you have a person over the intelligence, which is Tulsi Gabbard. And she's been doing a wonderful job bringing this information. It's factual information, how they did it, where they did it, and why they did it. You know what I'm saying? So, therefore, because they could not stand to see a president that the people voted for, and they could not stand. That's why the coup was created in the first place. The whole Russia, Russia, Russia thing, as you already know, it was created to discredit they tried to impeach Trump, and these are the things they systematically tried to get him out of there since 2016. You know, Hillary Clinton is devastated because she was supposed to be the one that she said that she should have been president, but it was one man that stood against her way, and that was Donald J. Trump. And Trump ran on a campaign that he still runs on a campaign. Trump had made a promise to the American people how he and on the policies that he ran on. People love the fact that they want to get these immigrants, these illegals out of this country. He wants to make America, put America first for Americans. Um, Obama never talked like that. Hillary Clinton never talked like that. Biden never talked about that. You ain't never heard any of those presidents ever talk about how they were going to put America first. You never heard that about them, right? And there's a list of other things as well too. So we never heard anything like that. We heard terrorists from Trump, but with the deep state usuals, they were going to continue doing the same old thing that they always have. Trump been collecting money, got the gold card thing for people that want to set up businesses in America, just like with Japan. They invested $550 million to set up Japanese companies in America. You know, so this is another big win for Trump again. You know, AI technology, businesses, our people have to be more technologically, there we go, when it comes down to education on these new tech things such as AI. You know, they got to know how to fix them. We have to know how to program them and everything else. We're going to have to know how to do these things. So, yeah, man. So, right now, we are really doing our thing, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I think I said enough today. I haven't done one in a while, but I explained reasons as to why MAGA is winning. And I want to appreciate Omega for coming back in, man, as well too. Sherry, I know she always be listening in the background. Sherry, lady, Sherry, and then John Paddock. I ain't forgot about you. A lot of you guys I have not forgot about, man. But yeah, man. What's that roadkill and things? You know what I'm saying? Dan the Corn Man. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys checking out old Tony Tone. I am back in full effect, you know what I'm saying? Bringing up the stuff and just kind of elaborating on it. I don't get too much pushback these days. They got channels on there that shields for the Democratic Party, running narratives and trying to spin narratives and stuff like that, but it's not working. Stuff is not working. That's hard evidence, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard evidence to refute the things that Topsy has been saying. You know, this is the woman that is actually over the intelligence department. You know what I'm saying? So you don't think that what she has to say that's incredible? You know what I'm saying? So she has she has a lot of credible things to say. Which is a beautiful thing though. So she's really been doing her thing though. And many more information is coming out. Let me see what you say though, Omega. Hold on for a minute. I don't want to miss anything. All right. All right. Right. Okay. So Omega, let me get my glasses on, man. Somehow the screen went dark. I can read it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Omega has to say, They are trying to obstruct. Yeah, I read that one. Okay. Omega says, Hillary, you mean Democrat Nixon with yeast infection? LOL. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Exactly, right? Boy, I tell you, boy, this is stuff. If Hillary is looking, crooked Hillary is looking real, real bad, Omega. And it's because she has done this against the American people. She has not only let us down, but there's a lot of allegations about her. You know what I'm saying? A lot of bad things, though. The Clinton Foundation, if we were to talk about that, Haiti, all the other stuff that go right along with it, you know what I'm talking about, Omega. This is all common knowledge, and nobody has to expose nothing now. This is all common knowledge, right? So with oh yeah, we can't leave out the USAID fund. Can't leave that out. We cannot leave that out. Yeah, welcome back. I thought I was missing your live streams. You know what? I haven't done this. I haven't did. I think when does I do a live? The last one I did is probably about over a month or so ago. Yeah, but I'm gonna be back. I'm now. I am back doing my live streams because there's other things that I want to bring up and talk about as well. You know. But yeah, man, it's one of those type of things, man, that I had to get out here, hit a deer, messed up my minivan and all that. I don't even have that no more, Omega, man. So with that going on, man, and you know, try to get it out the mud, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, but yeah, I'm still around though, man. I'm gonna be doing my other lives at home because I'm still set up to do that, where I can have you guys on. We can talk about it. You ain't got to be on the mic. You can hang out where you are. It's all good. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. It feels good being back, you know. I was watching one of the guys I follow. I saw him go live today, man. So I said, that's what inspired me to go live. Yep. So I said, let me go ahead on and do a live from the car. I'm on the vertical today, as you can see. I'm on the vertical today. But I'm gonna be on the horizontal as well too, talking about a lot of other things and stuff like that, man. But yeah, man, military is looking real good right now. We got that Ukraine Russia thing. Yeah, what's the name? Don't have the leverage. Trump does. So we already heard we done pulled out of that. And if you think that the EU is going to keep funding Ukraine, they're not. But if they want weapons to give the Ukraine, they got to buy them from the U.S. because we're not giving them for free. And we're only going to give them defensive weapons only, not offensive weaponry. They only going to get defensive weaponry, you know? So that's the thing about it. If Israel can pay for the weapons, then guess who else can pay for the weapons, right? Ukraine can pay for those weapons. You know what I'm saying? Omega says, "Don't get me started with U.S. AID." Right? Oh yeah, right. I know, right? Crap. You you want to hear you want to hear a rant? Oh yeah, sure, man. Yeah, because the U.S. AID, man, they've been phony. They one of the main reasons as to why our devaluation of the dollar. There's a lot of other things too, man. But you know what, Omega, man? I mean, you here in Detroit like me, man, and we have the ugliest infrastructures out of any state. We are one of the ugliest. I mean, America in general, man, we don't really have super great infrastructures like China and Japan does, right? Or even Europe for that matter. We have the worst over here. I'm embarrassed as an Uber driver, man. I gotta tell people, welcome to Detroit, man. We got this old Detroit sign. I mean, it looks okay, but look at the man when you go into Detroit, man, and you go under the bridges and stuff like that. It's all primitive, shit falling apart. It's bad, man. It's real bad. But they've been stealing all that money, though. We already know it. They've been stealing all that damn money. I'm so glad that Trump shut down the USAID fund. which one of the biggest one of these slush funds that had to be stopped. Because look at what was going on, man. These politicians have been feeding themselves, man, living life deliciously. Now they're in a tizzy now. They are all upset. The rhinos and the Democrats both are upset because now they don't have access to the taxpayer funds no more. Only thing what Trump has been working on is what is it, the Federal Reserve and Jerome Too Late Powell, because he ain't gonna make it much longer. They even got some incriminating stuff on this dude too. So he's not going to be in that position very long. And once Trump take over the Federal Reserve, he's going to keep it. What he's going to do is just move the U.S. Treasury in there. Therefore, we'll have total control on there, and it's not going to be closed and where you don't know where you got to set an appointment. They're only going to show. Remember, you saw that Trump visited. He visited recently. Yeah, he visited and everything like that to find out what the inner workings of the Federal Reserve, what's going on inside. Why haven't there never been any audits before, right? This is the stuff that we should be talking about. And all these other content creators, man, we should be talking more about, because Epstein is not really a big thing to really talk about. That's about to be taken care of very, very soon. That is not the big talk. The big talking point is the Federal Reserve. We need to start talking about that more. And yes, I do agree that audits should be in place because we need to go in there, find out where all this money. We may not even owe the $36 trillion. What's the one woman I was listening to? Catherine. She wrote a book, Omega, called it's called the Breakaway Society. How they have stolen $21 trillion from the people from the people of the U.S., the United States citizens. They stole $21 trillion, and the Breakaway Society, how they created, they only exactly what they ended up doing. Omega says Detroit is out. Okay, wait a minute, get my glasses on, man. Yeah, hold on for a minute. Okay, Detroit is outsized. Okay, all right, itself of itself, meaning a dying city designed for 2.4 million, but less than 700K people, falling apart. Hence, why I moved to Utica. Yeah, I understand that. I don't live in Detroit either. Yeah, I totally understand that, Omega. This is the thing about it, man. I mean, look at we already see what's been going on. Yep, Detroit, like Cleveland, like Maryland, Baltimore, and these areas. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. So yeah, man. Yeah, what I see, well, we already know that's heavily controlled by the liberal Dems. In fact, you already know they're in the process of what is it? They're in the process of having a mayor. Was it August the 4th? Yeah, they're in the process of having a mayor change. Look like Mike Duggan is going on to bigger and better things running as an independent. But in the meantime, we have Mary Sheffield, the daughter of the late Horace Sheffield III. We have Todd Perkins. We have Craig, Officer, what's that? Chief Craig Nelson. We have what's his name? What's his name? What's the other dude name? Shoot. Oh man, what's his name? As soon as I can think of it, though. Yeah. But we have these people. What's the lady name too? So you got all those people that's running for the Detroit for the mayor race. Some of them are. What was it? Craig. Officer, you said Chief Craig. He's running as a Republican. Then you also have Todd Perkins, the lawyer. I'm not for sure if he's running independent or whatever or not. The other ones they're running as Dems for sure, you know. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting, man. But yeah, since you're out in Utica, man, you're actually, I think that's an area that's Republican area, it's conservative. At least Macomb is. Macomb County is definitely conservative out there because you already know that's where Trump hosts a lot of his rallies at is over there in Macomb. So I've been out there, and they have a lot of other areas in Michigan that are very, very conservative, as you already know. You know, but yeah, man, the reciprocity for the gun laws and all this other stuff. Well, we better carry the gun in all 50 states and all this other stuff. So we're going back on that good old Constitution, you know, Democratic Republic. That's what we're going to be going back to, man, in regards to that. It's a beautiful thing, man. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing, you know, as I one of my favorite words that I always like saying, you know. But yeah, man. Yeah, this is some things, man. We're seeing the greatest president that we have ever had in our lifetime. You know, somebody that a promise made is a promise kept, that ran on that promise and still continue to do so. Because this is about the trust as well as the love, as well as for the people, keeping a promise to the American people. And this is what these low down ass Republican Democrat Uniparty outside of Trump have failed to do. Exactly what it is. Not voting for Duggan for governor. I know that's right. I am hoping my favorite Republican former police. That's yep. You talking about yeah, Craig. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Chief Craig. Yeah. Because he is running as a Republican. We got Mike Rogers as well too. I'll be happy if any one of the. I mean, for mayor, yeah. But for governor, yeah. Mike Trump already endorsed Mike Rogers. Yeah, Trump already endorsed him. I don't see. I to be honest with you, now that Trump has a control on the cheating system, they already know about the election and how it works. They know all they have all they have all the leverage is what I'm trying to say. So I don't see the Dems getting in there for a Democratic governor. Nope, I don't see that at all, man. Those days are gone. So either one of those, I'm okay with. But Trump already endorsed Mike Rogers already, and there's a big chance that Mike Rogers is going to win on that ticket because he's been endorsed by Trump. So yeah, so I see that happening and things for the governor seat. Definitely not Mike Duggan at all. He's still a Democrat in wolf and sheep's clothing and things like that. So it's time that we have a real Republican governor. You know. Omega says Mark Heckel. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, the county executive is a Democrat. However, I voted for him because he made Macomb a 2A sanctuary city. Okay, that wouldn't have anything to do with protecting the legal immigrants over there, would it? Oh man. Yeah, I'm familiar with Hackel. Yeah, then his father got slammed by doing some racist stuff to some black people. They got his father up out of there, remember? I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot about you know what I'm saying? He does allow Trump to come over there to host his thing over there too. So yeah, because yeah, because it's like yeah, I know who he is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, Mega Man. So yeah, man, yeah, it is what it is regards to this stuff, man. I'm happy to see on the political landscape where the MAGA Republicans are heading towards brighter and newer horizons. And also there's been Democrats that have changed and turned around. Maybe maybe Heckle have done some things as well too because it's tough, man. But who do you say that's most mainly in Macomb County? Is it more Democrat libs or they're conservatives? I'm just curious. But Michigan, let me see. Let me read what you say. I got to put my glasses back on. I should probably just keep these boys on. Yeah, but Michigan colluded, colluded cheating in the state constitution election month. So let me see here. Let me see. Not colluded, but is that supposed to be um, codified? Yeah, codified. Yeah, codified cheating in the state constitution. Michigan codified cheating in the state constitution election month. Yeah, yeah. But you know what though, Omega? It doesn't even matter though because they got they got safeguards and things in place, and they actually looking for this stuff. You know, they looking for this stuff or whatever. It better be on the up and up because if not, yeah, it's going to be easily proven now because Trump is holding all the leverage. He's holding all the cards. So no matter what they're doing and things like that, even with the recess thing, you heard what they were doing when Trump went to recess. All that stuff, swinging the gavel around while they're in recess, is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It just makes Donald Trump case even stronger and harder. The Dems are doing things out of desperation, as you already know, because they, um, we already know, they're doing things without someone saying, hey, we do this, this won't happen. It's out of desperate measures. And this is why they haven't been winning on jack shit. This whole thing with them has been nothing more than a lie, a ploy and a lie against the American people. And when you do the treason thing, there's nothing forgivable about that. That's why it's going to be handled at the federal court level with these yo-yos. You know what I'm saying? These treasonous commie bastards that they are, that's exactly what it is. Mega says, Macomb, conservative, but very libertarian. Yeah, I can see that, you know. And like I said, I don't have a problem with a lot of old school libertarians. Because at least with libertarians, they stood on some things versus these so-called liberals. They're not liberals, they're commies. These are commies. They're far from being a liberal libertarian at all. These are commies that we're talking about right now. So, yeah, treasonous communists, commies. So you also heard too, I mentioned this earlier, AOC, Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett, their party turned on them too, man. Turned on them like a den of vipers, Turned on they behind though too, man. So they don't have nothing coming. You also have Al the Werewolf Green. He has nothing coming. He's been censored. Elon Umar has been censored as well too. Get her out of there. They're gonna end up deporting her ass up on out of Minnesota, getting her ass right back to Somalia. And this Mandani, there's Mandani, what's it, Zohan or whatever out there in New York. Get his ass out of there too. Take your ass back to Uganda. You ain't turning New York into a communist state. That ain't gonna work. Trump even said that he'd be the one to take him down. So Mundani Zohan ain't got shit coming either though, Omega. So these are just clowns, man, as we already know, though. They have fallen on their own sword, man. And that's exactly what happened with the low down demo KKK rats, as you said. This is exactly what's going on, man. They have no footing, they have no place, they have no narrative, they have no leadership, and all the stuff that's being revealed, how they have promoted communism, how they have promoted treason against the American people. And that's why we always say all roads lead to Obama, you know? So you heard that ridiculous thing that Obama said, the fallen Messiah and the great deceiver. You heard that ridiculous statement how he said about the mentoring with the zesty gay men and how heterosexual men should be basically mentored by the zesty gay men and all this other kind of stuff. Because everybody know that Obama is gay anyway, you know what I'm saying? And America didn't have any problem with that if he would have done the right thing. He had an opportunity to do right by America. You know what he did? We already know what he did. He sided with the deep state. And many of us even said that how this guy have already been groomed by the deep state. You know what I'm saying? He's already been groomed ever since he was young and things like that. You got to look at his parents and seeing what they were into. You know, I've heard stuff from them being Russian assets and stuff because they could both speak Russian fluently. So if that don't make you, that's more like eyes narrow. You know, looking at these guy people side eye. You know what I'm saying? Omega says it is not treason, it is sedition. Sedition. Treason means to give aid or quarter to the enemies of the state. Benedict Arnold, sedition measures. Okay. All right. So with the treason thing, though, I'm reading what you're saying in regards to that. And the sedition, we talk about J6. That's a sedition. And what they were doing with Obama and all them, that was a coup. Sedition, coup, rising up against a sitting president to basically take him down and to take him out. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by treason with Obama and them, how they have stolen money from the United States, giving it to the enemy, right? So he giving it to people that, that are enemy to the United States. We talk about not just Iraq, but there's a lot of other places. China, right? Practically gave them the backdoor keys to America, China, and this ain't me just talking about conspiracy. So that's what I mean about treason. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what it is. So it's a little bit of sedition and treason. It's a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Because we can't leave that out or throw that out. You know what they all have been doing, right? They all have been selling this country out, lock, stock, and bond, right? They're the ones that have sold America out. They were the ones that was supplying our weaponry to our own enemies, right? Setting up sleeper cells over here in America. So it's a little bit of both sedition and treason. Yeah. So I'm in agreement. But if we were going either or though, Omega, sedition or treason, either or is not going to allow Obama to be exempt for being persecuted. And that's where people think that he will be, but he won't. Not for something of that caliber and of that nature. So yeah, so that's basically where it is with that. So yeah, so yeah, man. So other than that, yeah, that's what he's gonna go down under and things, and he know it. So it's their passports have already been revoked, so that therefore they can't leave the United States. You know, because if he was exempt, then they couldn't take his passport. You know what I mean? Mega says yes. The whole crossfire hurricane crap is sedition. It don't make any makes no difference. You still don't make him exempt. He's not exempt. He's not immune for the immunity under the president's position of being under immunity. It only grant him immunity of certain type of things. But if you call it sedition, I call it treason, right? Treason and sedition. But it doesn't make him immune. He's still going to go down, though. He's going to go down on one or two of these calibers. And I believe it's going to actually be treason because they already have the hardcore evidence of what he actually have done. A sitting president that have sold secrets and all kind of stuff, created a coup against a sitting president, a duly sitting president, which was Trump. They were the ones that put it all together. They who all the key conspirators are. So either or, though, it does not make him immune, though. We agree on that much, right? And that's cool. Everybody can't agree on everything, but I'm just saying, regards to this, that's what they're going to get him on. That's for sure. He's not immune. That's why I want to make that correction to Jimmy. He's not immune, Jimmy, at all. He's not immune. This is going to his point earlier. He thinks that he's going to be immune, but he's not. Presidential immunity and sedition, treason, doesn't make a president immune. If they can prove it, which they can, you know, and that's why all these things, Topsy steady bringing stuff out. We ain't even over with this stuff yet. You may not heard across the Crossfire Hurricane, but Topsy is still bringing out information. There's a lot of lists of stuff. They've been watching them the whole time, Omega. So this ain't an allegation coming from Topsy. These are actual, not allegations, but factual stuff of what they've been doing for in the time that when president was a president, right? In his presidency. Not only that Obama spied on his spy, we talk about Spygate and all this other kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the stuff that's been going on as well too. And he's not going to be held exempt because he's a president. Certain things, but not for this though. You know, I'll be happy for the day that he is, because they're going to impeach him. He's going to be indicted and arrested and go down. You know what I'm saying? Omega says, yeah, a president is not immune when his actions are sedition. Exactly. And this is a seditious conspiracy, But yeah, like I said before, I have no problems either way how you want to say it. I don't have any. I don't care. The wording doesn't bother me. Well, I want to see some satisfaction of seeing Obama locked up, just like when Trump made that AI rendering. I know you saw that as well with on X. I saw it the day that it aired, and it was very funny seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And this is what Trump put out. So this ain't an allegation. This is actually what ended up happening, as we know. But yeah, um, just looking forward to it. Very forward to it, man. Yeah. So other than that, back on out here and make the donuts, as you can say, man. I wanted to get back on here and get back on my routine thing and stuff like this though too. So that way I can start making some more I know people think I fell off. Nope, I didn't fall off, and things like that. Things in the personal life, but yeah, I'm gonna stay informed. I'm watching this stuff as you guys are watching it. And there's people that I rock with and people that I don't listen to, though. But for the most part of it, man, true MAGA is true MAGA. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys coming on. A few people that showed up. They probably thought I was that I fell off. But yeah, I'm back. I'm back. There might be Sherry in the background. Sherry, lady. It could be John too. It could be John, Omega. We haven't heard from them in a long time. It could be either John or Sherry. One of the two. Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, though, I'm gonna do more on the horizontal than on the vertical. You know, do it at home in my home studio. All right, guys. Other than that, I thank you guys for watching and listening. Omega, it was very good seeing you again, man. I ain't seen you in so long. So I'm gonna see you guys later, man. All right. Peace. And I appreciate the likes. Let me see what Omega said before I go. She is one of the few Democrats that I like when she was a Democrat. Still like her even now. Uh who is this Omega, before I go, who is this that you like that's a Democrat? Did I miss something? You said she is one of the Democrats. I just don't like the fact that she was Team Bernie. Oh, you talking about Topsy? Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, Topsy, man. I'm gonna tell you this before I go, Omega. I never had any problems with Topsy, even as a Democrat. But yeah, I know she at one time. I think she was the governor of Hawaii. Not was she the governor or was she? I know she was. She's from Hawaii, military background, all this other stuff. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing about it. I never liked Bernie at all. But yeah, as a Democrat, she was one of the good ones. It's Tulsi Gabbard. and things like that. I heard she was a moderate. I know she's not MAGA. She could be still a Democrat underneath it all, but she said the reason that her party, why she didn't rock with them no more, because she was coming under the scrutiny with Trump. I mean, I'm sorry, not Trump, but coming under the scrutiny with Obama and Hillary. I remember that, because she had incriminating evidence even then, and they knew it. That's why they started calling her Russia, Russia. She was a Russian asset and all this bullshit, right? But yeah, I always liked her, man. Yeah, I know, right? The midnight shit. You right about that, though, Omega. You right about that. But yeah, man, she's been a really not all Democrats are bad and stuff like that. But yeah, I always liked Tulsi, I like that little silver gray streak, that little white streak in her hair like that. You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes her very distinctive. Yep. Scroll up. Let's see here. Scroll up. Scroll up. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Do. Where am I scrolling up to? She was a Democrat. Thought we were talking about Tulsi. I did ask who we're talking about, but I said, wait a moment. Read all that. Am I missing something, Omega? Immunity, sedition. She was a Oh yeah, House of Congress. That's what she was. No, LTC. Okay, right. Army. Yeah, she was in the army. That's right. She was in the army. Lieutenant commander. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I thought it was a major, but if she was lieutenant commander, that okay, that's cool. But yeah, Army Reserve. Who Tulsi Army Reserve? I thought she was in the military. I mean, it's all military. I got friends in the Army Reserve. Howard Clegg. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Yep. Now, Howard, are you Army Reserve? I salute you if you are. Okay. Are you Army Reserve as well? I got some friends in the Army, that's Army Reserve. Yeah, and that's one thing I regretted. I regretted not taking my ass into the Marines as I should have. Okay, 39 years in the Army. I salute you, sir. Hope I'm doing it with the right hand there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, Howard. Yeah, 39 years, man. Congratulations to you. I got a friend that's been in the military as long as you have. He was a Marine. You know what they say? Once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine, right? Yeah, yeah. Be all you can be in Army. Y'all remember those commercials? There's a hungry kind of feeling. Every day it grows, right? Yeah. You always had some good commercials, man. Retired age 60, lifer. Yep, that's right. I knew you were a lifer. Yeah, I knew you were a lifer, man. That's what's up, man. You guys are looking good. Had that military parade. I was over there saluting and everything. Y'all coming down that thing, man. Trump had that military parade and stuff. This is a president that loved the military, man. He's a military man himself, but military, man. That's what's up, man. You guys protect land and at sea and in air. You know what I'm saying? Yep, that's what y'all do, man. Roll you out. You got the Rangers, the 10th, ninth, the 10th Mountain Division, and all the rest of them. Man, but had some friends of Special Forces, man. Crazy stuff, man. Green Berets, Navy SEALs. Devil Dogs, all the yeah. You salute all you guys, man. Even Jag. Can't leave Jag out though. Air superiority, man. You know what I'm saying? Jumping out of those helicopters and planes and stuff like that. I admit I'd be scared as hell doing that stuff every single time. Jumping out that damn plane, man. Yeah, it's probably, you know what I'm saying, man, in the Army. Yeah, man, all good, man. Yeah, I salute you guys. Yeah, military rocks with me on this channel, man. Yeah, they sure do, because I always hold you guys up, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's exactly. You don't have nothing to be ashamed about being in the military at all, man. You know, because at least we have some men and women that had the balls and proud enough to wear the uniform, man, and things like that to protect this country, foreign as well as domestic, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, though, man. You know. Yep, a lifer. My buddy is a lifer. He just retired. He retired out of the Marines stationed out there in North Carolina out there. Big military base over there. When I lived in Arizona, Yuma, man, they got military bases all over Arizona though. Yuma is one of them, one of the bigger ones. Yeah. Howard says retired 10 years, now living the dream. I know that's right. Living the dream, Howard. That's what's up, man. You know? Yeah, man. You know, I know you done been everywhere too. You know, that's what's up. Man, that's a beautiful thing though, you know. Yeah, yeah, we looking good. We are looking good though, man, you know. So you guys, then thanks for the like too. I appreciate it though, man. At least with my channel, and there's channels out there that celebrate and honor the military once again, though, man. Memorial Day, man, and all that. For the first time ever, we had a military. When was the last time we had a military parade, man? Thanks for the like. I appreciate it. We haven't had a military parade since when? It's been a long time. I can't remember the last time we had a military parade, but this one went off without a hitch, man. You know, it was a beautiful thing, you know, showing the proud men and women in that uniform, you know. Yeah, you know, I got to lose some weight if I was going to ever wear that uniform. Yeah, just subbed up. Okay. Yeah, just, oh, yeah, I appreciate you, Howard. Yeah, man. Yeah, anybody that's subbing too, man. 'Cause I said I'm back. I'm back in full effect because I took a break after a while. I had some personal things going on, and I am gonna call my buddy. I'm gonna call him this weekend, man, because you know he was always like an older brother to me. Though you know, I think he got me about 4 years, and stuff like that. But yeah, man, yep. If I would have been a lifer, man, I've been close to retirement myself, man. You know, it's a beautiful thing. I know I may not look it, but you know, clean living. You know, yeah. Still got all my hair too. Look at that, man. Look at all that hair, man. Look at all that hair. You see all that hair? Yeah, all that hair, man. That's what I tell you, boy. All that hair, man. Yep. If I pick it out, comb it out, it even get longer. You know. Yep. But my hair draws in the heat. You know. Boy, look at that. Look at that hair, man. Whether you have hair or not, it's all good, man. If I didn't have hair, I just wear it bald like most of us, man. You know, don't really mean much these days, you know. But yeah, man. So appreciate you coming on, man, and things. But yeah, subbed up. Yeah, I appreciate you though, man. Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of things earlier and things like that. So why Maga is winning and things like that. Went over all that. We went over Spygate, Pizzagate. I didn't go over detail in Pizzagate, but it's all lumped in. And what I was saying is the way that Trump and his administration is not that they're going to hit them on several things, not just one particular thing, but all this ties in together. And when you put that along with the real Epstein files, all that goes in conjunction with each other, and that's why they panicked out so bad. So they can't run anywhere because a lot of their passports have been revoked as well. So they can't escape the long arm of the law and things like that. So, yeah, so these people that have been creating sedition, whatever like that against America, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. So, yeah, this is something that they have been doing. You know, they're guilty, rightfully so, which doesn't allow Obama to hide under the immunity thing. Some people think that he's going to get immunity. Some people think that nothing is going to happen to Obama, and it's not true. That's why Tulsi been, you know, steady coming out with her information of what Obama has been doing. And then remember when Trump was talking about his birth certificate. Trump was one of the first was talking about Obama's birth certificate. Now, um, Obama is a birth certificate. What else? We talk about they talk about how he was born in Hawaii and all this other kind of lies and stuff that they've been concocted. If you try to pull his files up, it's airlocked. They got a security clearance on it, so we don't even have access to it, even at our level. And the only people that have access to it is people in the inner circle. But I believe that that's going to change soon enough, because we still have the Information Act under the Constitution and stuff like that. So, but other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all all coming on, man. I got to get on out of here for real. Thanks for subbing there, Howard, man. I'll see you on. I'm gonna try to get on here later today as well, or if not tomorrow. Omega, it's been always good talking to you, man, as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Whether if it's treason or sedition, man, it's all good. We are gonna see some heads roll. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just for MAGA though, because MAGA has a little bit of liberals, libertarians. We also have people that are what is it? That just pretty much neutral, right? And things like that. So moderate. We have a little bit of everybody in MAGA, though. So it's not a cult. It's not that you got to be MAGA in order to be MAGA. So I just want to point that out as well. So all the things that I talked about earlier, how we winning, and how the Democrat KKK rats, what I call them the commies as they are, they're communists that hate America, hate capitalism, and so forth. Rich people out of mostly Dems that are rich, telling poor people that Republicans are the problem, and why we are in the situation we're in now. All lies. But I thank you guys for watching and listening. And again, I appreciate the likes as well. And I'm gonna be coming back on with some more information. MAGA is here to stay. Thank you all for listening and watching. I am your host, Tony G, and I'll be back. I will be back. I promise this time I'm going to be back. Peace.